Jason Simpkins claims in his latest presentation that a $1 stock is about to explode by 26,000%, but he won't reveal the stock unless you pay him $2,000. However, he left enough clues in his presentation to figure out the stock, and I reveal it in this video for free. Drop a like and subscribe if you appreciate me saving you $2,000. Also, everything in this video is protected under fair use laws. I'm not disclosing any proprietary or paid information in this video. I am simply analyzing free and publicly available sales presentations and using the clues in these presentations to infer the stock. These sales presentations are not intended for paying customers and are freely distributed via email. Before we do anything, let's look at Simpkins' past publicly available stock picks to see if he's trustworthy. Back in May 2020, Simpkins claimed there's a certain laser defense firm that will let you retire early, and this company was Leonardo. This stock has done very well and is up 5 times since being recommended. In September 2020, Simpkins claimed VSBLTY would win the war against COVID. This stock had an awesome run after being recommended by Simpkins. If you bought when Simpkins recommended, you had plenty of time to collect 500% gains and could have even gotten 1500% gains if you sold at the right time. In September 2024, Simpkins recommended Kratos Defense, and this is another stock that seems to be pretty good. It's up 30% in about 4 or 5 months. Let's shift back to Simpkins' latest publicly available presentation and figure out the stock he's pitching. Here's the headline of this teaser: the clandestine military program that is about to unleash $7 trillion in new wealth. It was started in 1968, and the technology it created is about to go mainstream. One tiny company holds the patents and could hand investors a 26,221% gain or more. According to Simpkins, every year the United States government spends more than $80 billion on a set of clandestine military programs collectively called the Black Budget. He goes on to say, until today, uncovering these programs and taking part in the enormous amount of wealth they create has been out of reach for regular investors. But now, for the first time, I'm pulling back the curtain. And according to Simpkins, a revolution that will soon unlock $7 trillion in new wealth will be revealed in this presentation. And the small company at the center of this revolution will give smart investors a chance to turn every $500 into $131,600 or more. According to Simpkins, some of the world's greatest innovations came from clandestine government programs. Here's how he explains it. Especially since today, you're going to witness first-hand footage of a technology developed deep inside the covert research labs of DARPA. A technology that will soon reshape the world as we know it, and give you a shot at turning $500 into $131,600. Let me ask you this. What's the one thing that the iPhone, the internet, and baby formula all have in common? If you guessed created by a secret government program, congratulations. You're right. Time and time again, clandestine military programs have produced world-changing products and technology. And according to Simpkins, what he has discovered is massive. Here's what he says. Only this time, the technology that's about to be commercialized will be bigger than the iPhone, bigger than the internet, and will give early investors a shot at life-changing wealth. Eventually, Simpkins begins explaining what he's talking about. Here's what he says. And just like the iPhone and the internet, this new tech was first developed in a covert DARPA lab more than 53 years ago. I want you to take a look at this picture. This is Ivan Sutherland. In 1968, Sutherland was the director of DARPA's Information Processing Techniques Office. And even though the crazy-looking device he's wearing on his head was clunky, unrefined, and rudimentary, by using what Sutherland called a digital matrix multiplier, this device was able to project a 2D image onto its user's retina, and trick the brain into thinking it was seeing a 3D object. And Simpkins goes on to say, it's called the Retinal Matrix. And though this creaky footage might seem unimpressive, even the greatest technologies are born from humble beginnings. And now, after 53 years, the retinal matrix has finally matured into what Bloomberg says could be the next big thing. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, believes that the retinal matrix will change the way we use technology forever. And Futurism.com says, this tech will completely revolutionize how we communicate, socialize, and interact with the world around us, which is why the biggest companies in the world are racing to take advantage of it. In just the last year, Apple has poured nearly $500 million of R&D spending into the retinal matrix. Facebook had pledged $10 billion to build an entirely new product line around the retinal matrix. Google has invested $800 million. and it's estimated that Microsoft has invested $1 billion into bringing this technology closer to mass adoption. All Simpkins is talking about here is VR/AR technology. VR, virtual reality, is a technology that immerses users in a simulated interactive 3D environment using specialized devices like headsets and controllers. And according to Simpkins, whoever masters VR will be among the richest people in the world. And according to Simpkins, the Retinal Matrix will soon replace nearly every single device you own. And he compares VR technology to smartphone technology and says, think about life before the iPhone. You had to carry around a camera, an address book, a map, a phone, a watch, a wallet, a calendar, and a computer to live your life. But when the iPhone exploded onto the scene, all of those different functions were rolled into one easy-to-use device. Eventually, in this presentation, Simpkins starts dropping clues about the company and shows certain patents that the company owns. And finally, Simpkins drops a lot of clues that allows me to figure out the company. Here's what he says. It's already inked a $52 million deal to supply critical retinal matrix components for the Army's family of weapon sight programs. Google has confirmed that this company will be the supplier of critical components for Google's $800 million retinal matrix push. Lenovo's $500 million capital and incubator group has also just partnered with this tiny tech company to grow its retinal matrix footprint as well. And it's rumored that Apple Glass, the retinal matrix-enabled eyeglasses that Apple is expected to release next year, also relies on this government contractor for its raw components. And that's not even considering all the other supply and manufacturing deals this firm has signed with dozens of companies ranging from Raytheon, Panasonic, and Verizon to Nikon, Garmin, and Northrop Grumman. I'm going to reveal my guess for the stock in about 20 seconds, but before I do that, I want to remind you to click the link in the description to check out Alpha Picks. I reviewed over 100 stock picking services, and Alpha Picks performs the best and actually beats the market easily. If you click the link in the description, you get $50 off Alpha Picks. So go ahead and click that link and take advantage of this amazing deal. According to the clues in the presentation, my guess for the stock is Kopin, ticker KOPN, and I'm 100% sure this is the stock. Kopin Corporation is a technology company specializing in microdisplays and wearable technologies. They develop advanced components like liquid crystal displays, organic light-emitting diodes, and microdisplays used in applications such as augmented reality, virtual reality, military systems, and industrial products. Their technology is often integrated into smart glasses, head-mounted displays, and other wearable devices. Here's everything you need to know about this stock, and after I'll tell you whether I'd buy. First, Kopin is a player in the AR/VR space. Kopin specializes in microdisplays and components for augmented reality and virtual reality devices. With the AR/VR market expected to explode in the coming years, Kopin could be poised to ride that wave. If you believe in the future of AR/VR, this is a company to watch. Second, they're a small fish in a big pond. While Kopin has some cool tech, they're competing against giants like Microsoft, Meta, Facebook, and Apple. These companies have deep pockets and massive R&D budgets, which could make it tough for Kopin to stand out. Keep an eye on how they differentiate themselves. Third is history of volatility. Kopin's stock has been a roller coaster over the years. If you're not comfortable with high risk, high reward plays, this might not be the stock for you. Be prepared for some wild swings. Fourth is not exactly a cash cow. Kopin has struggled with profitability in the past, and their revenue growth has been inconsistent. While they've made progress, they're still not a cash flow positive company. If you're investing, you're betting on their future potential, not current performance. Fifth is partnerships could be a game changer. Kopin has partnered with big names like Lenovo and the US military. These collaborations could open doors to massive opportunities, but they'll need to execute flawlessly to capitalize on them. Sixth is dilution risk. Kopin has a history of issuing more shares to raise capital, which can dilute existing shareholders. If they continue to do this, it could hurt the stock price in the short term. Seventh is valuation is speculative at best. Kopin's valuation is highly speculative, meaning the stock price is based more on future potential than current fundamentals. If you're a value investor, this might not be your cup of tea. So, what do I think about this stock? I think it's interesting and tempting. In the past, whenever big news about a new AR/VR device from Google, Apple, or the metaverse makes headlines, the stock pops. So, there is a part of me that would like to invest a little in this stock and just hope that AR dominates headlines in the future. However, there are some realities about this company that are hard to ignore. It's been a public company since the 90s and still isn't consistently profitable. In the past, they've had to sell shares to make payroll, and that's never a good sign. Plus, the metaverse has been hyped for years, and there's still really nothing tangible from it. Meta sells VR headsets known as Oculus, and they're mainly for video games. They sell pretty well, and my nephew has one that he likes to play with from time to time. However, these headsets cost Meta about $10 billion per year in losses. The Apple Vision Pro seems like a complete flop in my opinion. I just don't think people want to wear big helmets on their faces for a prolonged period of time. But you never know. Maybe a sleeker design will come out in the future that people will enjoy wearing. It really all depends on whether you believe in AR/VR. If you think this industry is going to explode the way AI did over the last couple of years, Copen is almost guaranteed to soar. Just make sure you're okay with volatility because that's almost guaranteed to be the case with this stock. And make sure to click the link in the description to check out Alpha Picks. This is the best stock picking service, and clicking the link saves you $50 on this awesome service.